Vanta, Vanta, let's have some banter. Hello everyone, Connor Whitmore here again with another video for you on the Nawtystep channel, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about the new EP from Eugene, released on Baseweight Records, Vanta. This is the latest collection of tracks from California native and up-and-coming bass producer Eugene. 22 years old, been releasing to the public for a couple of years now, and showing a lot of promise in that time. Thinking of tracks like BFR, Soundboy, his remix of Promises by Nero, to name but a few as he's developed. Covering a wide array of styles within bass music, from house to hybrid trap, dubstep, more experimental stuff, and garnering support from some big names in the scene from Peekaboo to Stuka, G-Rex, Hydraulics and more. Putting out a track for Nest HQ a while ago, but mostly self-releasing, this Baseweight Records EP being in a way his first substantial break. His approach across those different genres he's explored being unerringly dark, gritty, atmospheric, intense, spooky, with a tinge of hope and holiness to it as well, with the use of his own voice, also finding time to be glitchy in between all of that. And my main question going into Vanta was regarding how much that delivery would continue with it, whatever the genre. Whether we would see Eugene building on what we know him for already, or venture into something new for this collection. But no, this EP is very much an extension of what many have come to love his sound for so far, an impressive one at that. In terms of its mood and general production delivery, across its 4 songs, Vanta captures exactly what Eugene is about. On top of that, it's unique and confirms him as one of the most exciting up-and-comers in bass music right now. So yeah, these tunes are vintage Eugene in their style, however they are notably more enduring and drawn out, longer lasting than his previous stuff. All adhering to the same approach of slow tempo, weighty percussion, haunting atmosphere, and hypnotic, mind-numbing drops. With 3 pretty short to the point cuts and 1 super extensive one at 5 minutes, track 3, Pull Up. Which I think it would be best to start with, the centerpiece of the EP if you will, a lengthy exhibition of Eugene in full flow. It begins in this super menacing, brooding way, a mechanical undertone to the atmosphere, which is actually a staple aspect of the whole EP. The way the beat of the bass stares into your soul is very powerful before Eugene's voice pierces through. Another significant aspect of the whole EP, good reach to it, impending in its delivery, shimmering effect on the voice also adds to that well. All of it atop this jumpy beat which gives it a feel of lingering behind you, creeping up, waiting to pounce and attack. It just sets such a fantastic scene, especially in having that brief moment of respite, very primal before sneakily winding its way back up before the first drop. The heaviness embellishes that menacing feel with a seriously hefty beat, a bounce and flow to it that leaves a real impression. These pinprick stabs in combination with a very rounded backdrop, the eerie, looming synths laid over the top, scary stuff, and it cuts really deep. The second drop being an astute development from the first, with several clever percussive breaks, more sounds in the background, subtle changes to fit the creeping, unsuspecting nature of the song, also giving it a sense of body and autonomy as it goes on. The midsection, which is repeated somewhat in the outro, also playing a massive part in making this tune such an impactful one. Spacey to disorientate you, then that refined vocal-instrumental combo from the intro, musicality is simultaneously warm and dark. A real mix of moods, again that thing of luring you in, waiting for its moment to pounce when you're at your weakest. Basically, there's a lot to this track, and it's definitely reaching its desired effect. The patience of it in its construction really is brilliant. Something I can also say for the other 3 here, even though they are markedly shorter, 2 of which I would say I prefer much more than the other. Tracks 1 and 2, the title tune and What's That respectively, are a great introduction to the EP and Eugene's sound for those who may not have heard it before. Said opener and title tune kicks off the collection in typically mystifying, gloomy fashion. The vocal sample is spooky yet inviting. I love how the fuzzy instrumental fires into gear, the hazy aesthetic enveloping you, percussion picking up nicely in the build. And the EP's first drop is truly attention-grabbing, the shimmering clatter, gravelly synths, booming percussion, flows fantastic. With a great awareness of sound placement too, picking up in the second half with more sounds. The snares do need to be sharper, but overall, very good. The second drop being less in your face, more toned down, not intricate per se, but fine, exact and incisive. Very gritty glitch, properly evil, the sounds almost catching up on and falling over each other. He lays it on, but it really works. On What's That, we get just the one drop, more weighty, hypnotic stuff, subsumes you and takes control of your mind. More fuzzy, enduring sounds, showcasing a real awareness again with the timing of everything, percussion in particular. That's what I mean. The way that song opens up, moreover, with its light glow, the bulky beat, and high-reaching vocal, once more hazy yet twisted at its core. The pensive, bouncy beat following that, the welcoming synths, and Eugene's ghostly vocal is perhaps the one truly uplifting moment on the EP. Dipping back into that for the outro, built on more vocally and instrumentally, yet its abrupt finish I can't say I'm that fond of. On that note, seems right now to address the final cut Creep, which excels in many ways but also has the most glaringly off moments on Vanta. The introduction is a revealing one, as we're told by a demonic voice that we know something we can't explain that's wrong with the world, pent up inside us, driving us mad. The atmosphere created here is amazing, the way it steadily builds, caught between good and evil, the uncertainty of which is captivating. Unfortunately, however, the heaviness detracts from the accomplished feel established in that opening sequence. In the first drop, the beat is sharp, background touches are vivid, but the main overlaying sounds are quite the unpleasant listen. The second drop, which is kinda like a double drop considering the length of the midsection and following build, has a similar issue. The vast majority of it is so good, from the freeform low-end sound to the intricate trickling up stuff. Again, the beat is lovely, but the jarring synths laid over the top just do not work, sounds that I feel he really could have done without. However, I would have to say that's a minor drawback in the context of what is overall a very solid project. There's so much to enjoy here. I think above all else, the fact that I'm not sure there's anything else out there like it, it seems unique. Which, you know, is one thing, sounding different, but more than that, I think for the most part he has the execution and construction skills to match. So patiently and carefully put together, every song having those moments of quelling the instrumental to rebuild, and it does that across the board so well. There's nothing ostentatious about it, it's built on these incredible atmospheres and soundscapes, it knows what it's good for and just hones in on that. Which is interesting because really it's quite a minimal EP, yet it has such a wide-reaching, large feel to it over the near 14-minute runtime. It also defies the minimal approach in how much it brings together, very multifaceted collection from start to finish. The different moods it encompasses, the explosive percussion, the vocals, the glitchy gleam running through it. Kinda like the demented offspring of freeform bass and trap, a mix of deep, dark and dangerous and Wakan, dark and grisly yet airy and alluring. The world he paints being an interesting one, quite a futuristic charm to it, but also grounded in reality because it's so dark and gloomy. Not to say improvements can't be made, I think bits of the percussion not being quite sharp enough, for me that would have to be the main drawback on Vanta. Where the sound can get a little bit too fuzzy, I'm caught between thinking that needs improving and that that's just the appeal of his music. It could also maybe have done with exploring some different styles, but honestly, I feel this one suits him to a T most of all. And generally, taking all into account that I've said, the uniqueness, the way it's put together, delivering the exact feeling that he wants it to, it's a really good listen, something that bass music has been crying out for, and as I mentioned earlier, showing him to be one of the most exciting up-and-comers in bass music, full stop. Now in terms of my favourite on the EP, then I think I would have to go with Pull Up, the most expansive version of his style that we get here. Love the shorter tracks too, but as a lengthier version of that approach, Pull Up definitely sticks out. And in terms of recommendations, if you enjoyed the EP, I don't think there's any one sounding near identical to him, but there are some similar ones like Peekaboo, Stuka, Herbalistic, Glass Pack, Akira, and Chow Chow. And so there we have it, my thoughts on the new EP from Eugene, released on Baseweight Records, Vanta. I hope you enjoyed it, thank you very much for watching. But what did you guys make of the EP? Do you have a favourite track from the four? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this review, then be sure to give it a big old thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell along the way so you can be notified whenever I upload a new video to the channel, and my social media accounts are linked in the description box down below. For some other EP reviews on the channel, check out the link next to my head somewhere. And lastly, if it's naughty, then you know guys, so be sure, as always, to keep it naughty and stay safe. And I shall see all of you legends in the next one. Peace out.